you.
Okay, never mind.
Well, now we're done, so now I can.
Okay, we're live now.
Are we live?
Yep. We'll give people a minute to get on.
Yeah, I got some scratch offs I got to do.
Well, that's what this shirt says. Don't gamble your ad budget. Invest in the best.
Oh, nice. I like that. Where is she?
She's in the bedroom. She she watches on her laptop and like shares it to the groups, and it's kind of like my my right hand woman. All right, here we go. We got some people on. Cool. If you can hear us, comment below.
Hello. Mr. Pickles. My dog's trying to get outside.
How's your cats doing?
They're good. Yeah, they're good.
That's cool.
She doesn't even notice she doesn't have a friggin' tail now. It's crazy.
Didn't it get caught?
Is Amanda sharing this to my page? I can share it.
Yeah, it's on PMU Marketer, and then she can share it to whatever page, or you can share it to whatever page.
PMU Marketer's a page? I never heard of it.
Yeah, because you follow the other. Never mind. I'm not going to talk.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, fake Jake. That was so funny. Like, no disrespect to that guy, but like, it's just trashy. And if you don't know that that's trashy, it's you know, that's not how I do business. Like, and I see you and Taryn on here. Oh, here we are. Okay.
What's up, guys? If you can hear us, comment below. That's my fake way to get engagement. If you can hear us.
Yes.
No, I really have had mic issues more than anything on these videos. All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and get started since we got some viewers on. We got about 20 to 25 people, and they're joining as we speak. So what's up, man? Haven't seen you since the conference. What's new in the Will Anthony world?
Are you talking to me? That sounded like you were reading that off of some weird ad. Oh, life is good, you know, closing out the end of the year. I've been working on this business webinar for months now, and that's going to be launching soon. And you know, it's odd because, you know, permanent makeup is like it's my life. It's made me my giving me financial security. I met my fiance. She was my client, and then we fell in love. So, you know, I like respect permanent makeup so much, but in reality, like it's turning to hell, and you know, people just don't talk about it, you know, because you know, people think I'm negative, people think I'm a jerk, and to be honest, I just have passion. And if you've ever dealt with me on a professional level, or if you've ever done business with me, I'm the most ethical person on earth. You know, I could be way richer. I could be worth $25 million if I sold people crap and robbed people. And, you know, you see in permanent makeup, like, look at the people. You weren't even in permanent makeup. I could name 5 people from 3 years ago that people have never even heard of. These were the biggest names in permanent makeup. They were on every stage. Like, everyone was like, ugh. And they sold a whole bunch of crappy products. They burned a lot of bridges, and now they're probably working at McDonald's. I have no idea because we don't see them anymore. So, you know, I made that video today about certain, you know, it's not about the machine, it's about the membrane. And like, I honestly believe, and you can record this, obviously you are, there are probably 20,000 people getting tattooed each day all around the world from unsterilized needles from China. Now, like I said in my video before, just because something is from China does not mean that it's not good. That's not how it is. You know, there's beautiful things that are from China. So, but when these shady people constantly inbox you and they do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? It's just odd to me, because as an artist, I want to back great products, and these products I probably can't afford to make. I can't afford to make a machine right now. I back FK Irons Microbrew. I could have afforded to make my own pigments, but I chose to do it the right way. And the right way was to team up with Taryn Darling and LI Pigments. It's one of the biggest and best pigment houses in the world. They're not flashy. They're not on Facebook. Taryn's basically the face of the company. So I did that right. But, you know, these people take these two-day hotel classes from someone who is standing up there with, you know, fancy crap on, whatever it be, Gucci outfit, I don't know, whatever. And the people in the audience want that. They're like, wow, I want to be that person. And that person just wants to get you into their cult and sell you crap. And it's amazing how many people want to buy crap. They don't research it. They just listen. Like, you know, you have a product that you sell, Jake, and I feel that you're constantly, you know, it's sad that you constantly have to let people know how good it is and defend it, because people just want to get rich. So when you say, hey, you know, I could do this for you, and you know, we talked about this the other day, you know, people are lazy and they just want to be part of this clique. And if that clique is cool and that famous person comments on your picture after they take to your class or they repost it, you're like, ugh, this is friggin' amazing. The person is robbing you. They're selling you a piece of crap machine. They're selling you unsafe equipment, and you just want to give them the money. And then when someone like me, you know, I did a half-hour video today of the needles, and those needles are very unsafe. I had that, like my mother, if I wasn't a permanent makeup artist, could get tattooed by one of those needles and get AIDS or hepatitis or some communicable disease. And you know, nobody wants to hear that, because there's very popular people backing these things, and that's what makes it sad. And you know, I feel people need to have a voice, and people need to listen more and educate themselves, or listen to be educated. I'm not selling anything. You know, I obviously have products. My store does well already. I'm educating people, and it's free. Obviously, I have webinars you have to pay for, but I bought $100 machine. What's $100? Well, $100 is $100. That's 20 shots of tequila at a shitty bar, crappy bar. But instead, I took my $100. I bought some crappy machine on Amazon. I paid my assistant to go to the office. You know, we filmed the whole thing. Probably took 2 hours out of my day. And I didn't do it because there's not a hook. You know, I didn't make that video today so I could hook you. And then next week, I'm going to be like, look what I have for sale. It's just common sense. And I always hear these people in permanent makeup, oh, I'm a nurse. I work in a dental office. My medical background's so good. Well, then how the hell do you not know what a sterilized package looks like? How do you think a sticker on a package makes it sterilized? It doesn't make sense to me. And, you know, the tattoo and permanent makeup industry, I always say permanent makeup isn't tattooing. And, you know, we have surpassed the most important things. It's almost like becoming a doctor without going to medical school. They give you a scalpel. They show, hey, there's a scalpel. Watch me. Okay, cool. But you don't know anything, and you're probably going to kill somebody. We're probably not going to kill anybody, but you don't know what you could pass on to people. And that is super, super important. So the basic things that I'm going to start doing, these little tutorials, is understanding what something sterilized look like. It amazes me that someone doesn't know what a crappy needle looks like, but I'm going to educate people on the comparison between a very good quality needle and a crappy needle. And, you know, this affects you too. You know, every single person involved in permanent makeup, from manufacturers, distribution centers, or the marketers, like when the industry goes crap, it affects your livelihood. You can't sell ads. People can't afford ads. People get sued for using bad equipment. It's a downhill spiral. So we need to protect the industry. We need to create quality equipment at a good price that people can afford. I know that a lot of permanent makeup artists are struggling. I know that they're single moms. And you know what? Our products at Skinful Beauty are priced so well that we are still making good money. There's no reason to be a pig with your product. There's no reason to overprice it, because you're either going to create wealth quick, which usually doesn't last long, or create stability where it'll just keep coming. And, you know, our products, I feel, and this isn't a sales pitch, but, you know, I feel that our products are priced, and I price the products. You know, when Pigment Seal came out, we didn't really know what to price it. And me and Taryn Darling sat down, and we came out with a price point that we're obviously making a product. We're business for profit. Who doesn't want to buy a car? Like, even if you buy a Honda Civic, who doesn't want to get a new couch for their apartment? You have to make money. But if you can make money ethically, it will last a lot longer. And I think that's what people lost. You know, people got their name on tweezers, pigment. Where's the pigment made? They don't know, because all these idiots are buying it, so nobody cares. Is there a lot number? Those friggin' cartridges I did today, 5 different companies I've researched of well-known people are all using cartridges with the same lot number. How's that possible? How are they all made on different days, shipping from all these companies? They all have this generic lot number because it's all fake. And that's super important, you know? And like I know you and I work with you and you're my personal friend, but I know you have integrity. I know your wife does. Taryn Darling has integrity. Mayor Richard Sandari. You know, the people in my circle, we are so tight because we are people that believe in education and integrity. And obviously we have haters. Oh, that guy, you know, oh, look at him. He just cares about money. No, if you don't want to make a living, you're an idiot. I don't need a helicopter, but I want a nice house. I want to go on vacations. I want money in the bank. I want to invest money. And I think that's just part of being a successful businessman. But you'll be more successful in this industry if you don't take advantage of people, if you don't do brow or eyeliner procedures and don't do the touch-ups. I mean, you could be shady at any level of this industry. It's just so simple not to be shady, you know? And I think that's what we lost. That was my 2-minute rant. How many people we got in here?
I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, it's such a small industry. It's not worth like ruining reputation because, like you said, you're not going to come back from it. Let's see.
Yeah, but it's like, I want to build relationships with people, and I feel other people should also. I want to build relationships with people that last long. Like I want to see my friends. I want to go to my friend's house when we first meet. I don't want to go back to their house in 3 years and they got a nicer house or they got like a little better car. They got a more reliable car. I mean, what are we measuring success on? Friggin' Bentleys and Ferraris? Shit, I want a Bentley and a Ferrari. I probably could afford one if I really wanted one. I just wouldn't be able to live my life as freely. So, I mean, you could afford whatever you want, but this is part of like the business seminar, I'm talking about. And it's like, stop buying stupid stuff. You shouldn't be 25 years old with 15 Louis Vuitton handbags. And if you have $2 million in the bank, you could buy what you want. But if you got $20,000 in the bank and $20,000 worth of purses, you're an idiot and you don't understand finance. Oh, I could sell these bags for a lot of money. And I'm like, well, why? Why would you tie up your capital in a purse? And that's just how I feel. But again, I have been an idiot and I have bought really stupid things in the past. I've wasted $1,500 Gucci shoes. If you told me right now that you were going to pay $1,500 on shoes, I would smack you because now I've been there and I realize it. So it is hard for people who were sweeping the floor at a salon. Now they're doing microblading or whatever, and they're making $500. You're going to get a little rich and you're going to buy dumb crap. But the faster you realize, like, to build wealth and investments and just money management. My parents, I love my parents to death. I was never really taught money management. My parents didn't, it wasn't on their agenda. They taught me to be a hard worker. They taught me other things, but it's hard. I learned my money from Taryn Darling has helped me so much hone my business skills. Bill Gerber, the owner of After Inc. These people I surround myself are smarter than me in a different way, and I'm smarter than them in a different way. Every pro or con, we fill that void, and it's like me and you have conversations, and I know that you are Jake, the marketing guy, but I blew your friggin' mind the other day. We sat here and we talked for an hour and I told you ideas on how to engage people. And that's not my job, but I'm doing it because I feel that I'm helping you, which is helping the industry. But if you don't surround yourself with people that are smarter in different ways than you, then you're surrounding yourself with people that are going to bring you down. And people are like a cancer. Crappy people will bleed you dry of your mental state. Like I'm not a depressed person, but if I hang out with two depressed people for long, I'm going to start getting depressed. It's like, it's mind games. So, I think permanent makeup people need to find a circle of people that get each other's backs and share real important ideas and help each other grow instead of like, I'm someone who wants a partner. I'm partners with Taryn Darling on projects. I'm partners with my fiance. We own a med spa. We own a tattoo shop. I'm partners with the After Inc. company, our family over there. And the reason I chose these people for partners is because I can't do everything myself. And that's where you come in also, People do not understand that if you spent more money on good marketing, you would have more time to make money and have more time to be with your family. If you're trying to do eyebrows, you're too cheap to get an assistant, you're answering emails, you're text messaging, you're buying supplies, it's like, who can do that? But if you could pay someone $12 an hour to come to your office 2 hours a day, 3 days a week, to handle all that, then you can concentrate on your craft. If you could hire Jake and, oh, well, it's so much. And, we talked about this the other day. If Jake, just say the bill's 800, I don't even know, $700 a month. If you can't make $700 a month doing permanent makeup, you shouldn't be doing permanent makeup, even in the crappiest market you can. Some people are not going to get rich doing permanent makeup, but you should be able to have a good living. But if you invest $700 in Jake a month, I would probably say by the time you and Jake build that relationship in 5 or 6 months, you might be spending $1,300 a month because you're making so much friggin' money off of the ads. Because as Jake learns your style, and as you learn, it's like dating someone. It's like being a dance partner. Like, well, okay, we're dance partners. Jake, me and you, the first time we touch, we're like tripping all over each other's feet. By the 10th time we dance, we got the groove down. That's business,
True
you
story.
work with people. So now you understand their market. You understand their demographics. You understand, hey, is she a Spanish girl? Is she marketing to Spanish people? Well, now that's her demographic. Is she in Beverly Hills? Is the majority of her clients wealthy white women? Then you have to find a way to market to those women. But if they don't put in the 3 or 4 months that it takes to build that relationship with you, they blame you and then they cry on the boards. And it pisses me off because marketing, ask any marketing professional, you run an ad, you might not get any money back from that ad for 3 or 4 months. And when it comes, it may rain where you can't even handle it. Or you're always going to be able to pay that investment back. That's what I'm saying. It's worth the risk. $700 a month, whatever it is. How do you not make that in permanent makeup? It's just not possible. And if you're not closing the deals, it's their fault and not your fault. And that's what I see a lot too. It's like you could take the hottest guy to a bar. My best friend in Jersey, big Guido guy, good looking tattoos. He had a lot of money. He couldn't pick up a girl for his life. Everything was there. It was like girls were like, oh my God, your friend's so hot. The second he opened up his mouth, they were like, no. So he was giving everything to get the girls. He just couldn't close the deal. And you are giving these people leads. And let's be honest, if you get 100 leads a month, if you could close 7 of those and each procedure is $500, that's $3,500 a month. Now, is it going to take time to dig through the other 90%, 93% of crappy leads? Yes, but as you get better at it, you just kind of know who not to answer anyway. So it's just like anything. They gotta work for it and they gotta understand it. We live in a world of entitlement and everyone wants this for free and everyone wants that. It doesn't happen. And people know if you take my class, you come to Florida or you see me on one of my training things, like the class doesn't end at 5. It ends whenever the last person's done. And, I'm going to work your ass off. And if you want to come to my class and text message your boyfriend all day and look on, you already paid me. I mean, I don't want you to do that, but I'm also not going to take the time away from the other people in the class who actually care so I can sit there and pamper you all day because you feel like you need extra help, but you don't. You're just lazy and you don't want to learn. You just want the certificate. And there's so many certificate collectors, People are more concerned about the certificate than the content, and there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't have one certificate. I don't need them. I've never taken a permanent makeup class. My first fundamental trainer was crazy, and I never felt the need to show that. I show it in my work, and I show it how I help people and how I educate. That is how I show my skills. It's not shown on the wall, but there are some people that enjoy the certificates, and that's totally fine, but that's not my personality. I just don't need it. So,
Yeah, and just for the record, guys, I do teach how to close the deal and how to sell. So
it's my Fabio. Yeah. I think that's important because, like my father has the same gift of me, like the gift of gab, like I can break any deal, like I sit in these meetings, like I sit in, I never thought in my life, I'm barely graduated high school. I had no interest in education. I started tattooing when I was high school. This isn't like one of these success stories where I slept in my car. I probably slept in someone's car once in a while anyway. But it's well, you didn't show up, Abigail. You went home. So it's like this. You just got to work your ass off, and it doesn't matter what you do. You just got to work, and it just feel like people are just lazy. And I never thought that I would be in a meeting with people at the table, like Shark Tank, people that are worth 30, 40, 50 million dollars, and they are dying to hear what I have to say. And that feeling is very vain because you shouldn't really care, but it is the most exciting thing on earth when one of those people who has conquered every single failure they've had, and they have these big successful businesses, and when you open your mouth, they just stare at you like a deer in headlights, because I might not be as rich as them, but I have tons of knowledge and they want it. And that feels really good, like having a lawyer on call all the time, like a lawyer that you could just call and say, hey, I got this, boom. An accountant, like a bookkeeper. I never thought that I would have this team of people around me, and they're not cheap, but this team makes me be more successful because I cannot do what they do. And if you're if you have your husband or friggin' home doing your books on QuickBooks by yourself, and you're going to H&R Block, you got a wrong idea of business. You need to hire a real accountant. You need to hire people around you. I know you had your girl on here a couple weeks ago, and you will save money. Have a business of $2,000. They might be able to save you money on write-offs. You don't want to steal from the government, but you don't know enough, and you can Google all you want. People will lose their friggin' arm and Google it. So Googling seems to be the answer of the uneducated world. Like if you want to Google what the capital of California is, that's fine. I wouldn't be getting tax advice or medical advice on Google. I mean, bad medical advice will kill you. You know what else will kill you? Bad tax advice, and that's true.
Yeah, my business literally like tripled when I invested in myself. And what I mean by that is like in late 2018, I paid a guy who was ahead of me in what I consider a career, $5,000. And I didn't watch that many of his videos. It was to get in some mastermind. I talked to him on the phone twice. And from those 2 phone calls, one of them was when I was in a weird spot. I wanted some advice. And the other one was just how to get to the next level. From that $5,000, 2 phone calls, I feel like it literally doubled my business. And that's the power of getting yourself around people that you want to be, or that can bring you up.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems these days people only look up to people who have flashy crap.
Yeah.
Like if you got $10,000 sneakers on and you walk in a room, everyone's, oh my God, look at their sneakers. How about the person that walks in a room who has $40 million in the bank and just didn't buy the $10,000 sneakers? People are not interested in that person. And that is a sad thing.
Yeah.
When Kim Kardashian dyes her hair, why the hell do I know? Why do I care? But I friggin' know. Who cares? It's like, but when someone comes up with a new medicine to like fight a disease, I don't know about it because it's not on the news. It's more stupid stuff. So, it's people always think in business, next year I'm going to get it together. Next year I'm going to get it together. Next year. No, tomorrow. There's so many things I want to talk about on here, and I'm being honest, I have this amazing webinar that I've worked so hard on, and we're pricing it well. And it's just so much information, and the way that we are doing this webinar is revolutionary. It is, I feel that, again, this isn't cockiness. This is just honesty. I feel that I am the sale. Like my information is good, but the way I interact, the way I talk, the way I swear, people like it, people don't like it. But when you guys see this webinar, you guys are going to go crazy. So, the advice for me that I have while I'm talking to Jake is like, just put in the time and be patient, like just because your trainer showed up at a hotel and made $40,000 and scammed everyone, it's almost like having an alcoholic or an abusive parent. And I know this sounds weird, and I'm not, we all have family problems. It's the thing that you discredit and the thing that you hate the most, you almost become one day because you don't control it. So there's so many people that are like, oh, I took this crappy class, this person robbed me. And then 6 months later, they become that person, and they're doing the same thing. And, it's, you shouldn't learn tattooing like that. I'm just being honest. And, there are some talented people that can create beautiful work, and people want to go see them. And it's almost like a Tony Robbins thing, and that's fine. But if you're learning how to tattoo like that, you're out of your mind. And, there's so much more information about the tattoo shop. And that's why, we're going to start this program in the summer. Right now it's super expensive to fly to Florida in the winter. So we kind of relax in the winter. There's a lot of crazy old people here. So in the summer, we're gonna have like a week long. We're gonna have like 10 permanent makeup artists come. They're gonna work at the tattoo shop. We're not gonna teach them how to tattoo, but you're gonna understand the inner workings of a tattoo shop, which is the base of a permanent makeup industry. If tattooing was never invented, we would all be poor and no one would have a job. But instead, we push it on to the beauty industry. Like, this is not the beauty industry. You don't have a beauty license. In some states you may, and it's probably some redneck state that nobody wants to live in. In reality, you are a tattoo artist and you need to own that. And when you research your craft, which is tattooing at any level, where you're tattooing the face, scalps, regardless, when you actually research the history and like do it yourself, you will be a much better artist. My fiance is a nurse practitioner. She went to grad school, worked at a hospital, worked in cardiology. She will sit here and battle. The only person she probably can't battle is Taryn Darling and Kat, her wife. Kristen Cooper, my fiance, knows more about tattoo needles than anyone listening to this, and 90% of the people I know that are tattoo artists. She understands the diameter. She understands all this. Why? Because she's smart. She wanted the information. She runs our store. So this is what people know. Like, know about your machine, know about your needle, know how to run your business. If you have a good marketing team, a good person to do your books, and you're talented, you can't fail. There's no key to success. There's many parts to success, and that's super important.
Real quick, I was on a coaching call with my clients last night, and one of my clients had a really good idea that's helped her with her bookings. And so if you guys would like to hear that practical tip, let me know in the comments real quick, and let's get some comments going, and then I'll tell you. So let's switch gears here and talk about ATB. So we had the America's Beautiful Conference it was like a month ago now, right? So
go ahead.
How would you compare that one to the one before? Are they just not comparable?
It's like, again, it's like smart people that have this idea, and the first one was great. We did make mistakes in the first one, all four of us as a team. The idea we had in the beginning of how we are going to run it was totally different. We wanted it to be an elite show, and we priced it high, and we kind of switched it up last year, so we kept it. We found like, you're basically paying $400 or $500 or something for the hotel average, and the conference this year is $2,100. So if you went to the conference last year, we're going to do an early bird special. We're going to open that up in February. So, we're 8 months out on this project already, but we're trying to find a way, and again, if you own a conference and you listen to this, I'm not dissing you. I'm just telling you why me and my partners feel that our conference is so important. We try to bring in speakers who are super talented and are, like, you could relate to, like, I can't relate to Mark Cuban because he's a billionaire. He has a totally different life, but I can relate to the local guy who is very successful. And I kind of look up to him like, hey, that could be me. And I'm just never going to be that person. So when you bring stars in that are so unreachable and don't really interact with people, I feel it kind of ruins the conference. So we bring in really big names, but young, talented people who we want to give a break to, because look, I'm a guy. When I first started permanent makeup, nobody wanted to give me a break. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You're a guy. You don't know you're a tattoo artist. Now, those people want to kiss my ass and do a class with me. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I remember how you treated me years ago. So, me and Taryn and Mary and Daria, we want to give those young people the break to get on stage and give them the chance that we were never given. So that's why we have like the Rising Stars program. And, this year we kind of did it differently. There was a couple hiccups, not because of us, but because of the venue. So next year, now that we know the venue, we worked with the team. Our party was the absolute best party I've ever been to. This year, we're doing a Halloween party. Last year, the party started from 8 to 11. This year, we're going to do 8:30 to 11:30. Give people, the food was amazing. The party was good. No drama. It's just, it's just fun. But what we are doing this year, we're doing something really cool on the first day. And I don't want to give away any secrets, but if you're a dedicated ATBer and you've been to a couple conferences, you're definitely going to get a better deal on this. But I think the important thing of a conference is, and I know other conferences are doing this, I'm just speaking out loud, you can never lower the price of tickets after people have already bought tickets, because I would be pissed. If you start your conference off at just say $3,000 and 50 people signed up, but now your sales aren't good, so you lower the price of the ticket half price, you know what that's going to do? Piss off the first 50 people. So we're really strict on our pricing. We're not going to, if you buy a ticket the first day, if you're an early bird, you're going to get a deal. But if you buy a ticket the first day and you buy a ticket the last day, I promise you, unless I brought those people on for helpers or to be involved in what I'm doing there, you're all going to get the same price. And that's super, super important to me. Also, I don't believe that if you watch a 2-hour seminar, you should have a certificate, because you're not really certified. You just watch them. So we don't do that. We give one certificate for the conference. And I do want to apologize for the certificates this year, because the printer, like 2-3 days before the printing thing, the printer's mom passed away. It's just like this huge thing. We had to find a different printer. So next year, I promise you, we're every single thing will be as perfect as possible. So we're doing it October 24th to the 26th. Jake will be there. Abigail is going to be running this conference. She's going to be the head of operations. That's my nanny slash friend slash worker slash this slash that. So slash personal chef. But, and like, I'm a person who, look, when I met Jake, he was like this dorky little guy who I thought was really friggin' annoying. And he was almost like a bee, like, oh, I want to sell you something. And I've seen him grow into a successful business person who I've yelled at Jake for certain things that he did that I didn't think were borderline ethical, not in a bad way, but he was seeing it from a different point. And I'm like, hey, bro, we got to do it this way. And he's like, oh, I didn't think about that. So I'm just a helper, like Abigail's my friggin' nanny. We hired her as a nanny from nanny.com. She worked for us. Now she started working for Will Anthony in my tattoo shop. Now she's running our friggin' conference. So, I see things in people and I want those people to grow. And that's how I feel about permanent makeup artists. Everyone's a naysayer these days, but if you've ever messaged me at midnight and I'm awake, I'll look at your work. I'll tell you, I'll help you. I mean, I'm just there to help you. And I want you to take a class from me. I want to be able to teach you, but you don't need to. And Taryn's the same way. And I kind of learned this from her because she's a first educator, like instead of trying to bring other artists down, and look, if you're a piece of crap, I'm going to call you out, but I want to raise everyone up. And that's why the conference is so important to us, like Nasa Chang, that's she's from Sarasota. So dope. I met her, we became really close with her family, and like she's on stage. Susie McIntosh, who's already a star in Australia, but like, let's be real, you can be a star anywhere in the world, but if nobody knows who you are in America, you're not a star. So she's getting the chance to come here. She's super dope. My girl Nadine from South Africa, beautiful, biotech, young, super talented, and we're giving her shot on stage. So, people ask us all the time, oh, I want to speak at your conference. Let me just make this clear. If you've never attended my conference, then don't email me to speak at it. If you come to the conference and you meet us and you hang out, it's all energy, and we're like, oh, her work is cool. Then you say, hey, I really love your conference. I've been there a couple times. I want to speak. Maybe we will. We have a way how we pick people, but it's almost like coming up to the big leagues. You're not in minor leagues and you don't show up at the Yankees door, put me in. They're going to call you, and it's going to be the best day of your life. So, this year we're doing, I think we're doing like 10 or 11 speakers, some of them short, some of them are long, because I don't believe you should have like 20 speakers up there, because if you need more than a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour sometimes. So we would rather have quality over quantity. We're just not trying to make it seem like we have more so you get more for your money, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work out that way. And the people that are first doing conferences will see that for the amount of money that you charge, everyone's like, oh, they sold 150 tickets times 2,000. When you write a check for lunch that's $85,000 for 200 people, you're going to realize that money goes real quick. These hotels are not cheap. Everything is a union. The guy that friggin' answers the door cannot touch the food, but he could touch that food because that's raw, but he can't. It's like, oh my God, just get me someone who could do something. So that's why me and Taryn were on the team that kind of picked Vegas. And, we really believe that we found a home at the Golden Nugget. We found a home with the team. We really like the people that work there. And our goal as event coordinators and people that are promotion, people that are putting on these shows, is to give you the best content at the best possible price where you can afford it. Now, this year, there's a couple girls that couldn't handle their liquor. And, you know, you got to realize if you're paying $2,100 to go to a conference and it's 3 days long, have a couple drinks after dinner, go to bed. Like, look, you're paying for it. Wake up early, sit through the classes. Yeah, some of them are boring, some of them are great. Look, I'm not interested in scalp, I'm not interested in areola, and I'm not interested in lips. So if I was at a conference, those things would probably bore me. I mean, I look up to the artist that does it, but maybe I go out and have a sandwich or something. But if you're coming to the conference and get trashed every night, and then you get to the conference 2-3 hours late, then what's the sense? You know, we all got to be adults. So just get your money's worth. So this year is going to be really, really cool. We're having a crazy Halloween party. So I'm going to be Jake. I'm going to wear one of those button-up shirts and everything, and I'm going to have those headphones on. So that's going to be pretty cool. Maybe Kristen. Yeah, me and Kristen will be you and Amanda.
All right.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'll be you.
You could try. Okay, so what else?
Let me give my practical tip real quick, and then we'll go ahead and start asking your questions, and we'll take some questions here. So the practical tip that my client gave is so you know how Facebook and Instagram, they don't really like before and after pictures that much. It's actually against their terms of service. A lot of people don't realize that. So if they're denying your ads for before and afters, just do like an after or a video or something. And then in the comments, you can actually post or you can comment your before and after that way, because everyone reads the comments. And so that way, if they see your after or see your video, then they can see the before and after in the comments. And then that doesn't trigger Facebook's system.
Yeah. See, how do I write on this thing?
What do you want to write? I don't think you can write. I got the controls.
Oh God. Okay. So look, again, if you guys didn't see my needle thing, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, I really don't care about followers. Obviously, I want some followers. I want to educate, but I'm not buying followers. I'm not trying to buy ads to buy followers. But it's at Will Anthony Cosmetics, and you know we do a lot of giveaways. Last year, I gave away $25,000 in classes in my home studio. So you have to have your own machine, you know, blah blah blah. You know, you're probably going to buy some equipment off me at the end anyway, so I'm probably going to make money off of you. But, you know, I feel that there's so many people that like yearn for education and they can't afford it. So if I'm doing a class for 5 people and another person sits in there and I can help them, you know, we do that a lot. So, yeah, just post that thing for the needles that I did today so everyone could watch it. And that's super important. And guys, if you're using this needle, it's not safe. And you know, I don't care who sold it to you. I don't care how much you like that person. It's just really not safe. So it's an educational thing. It's really, really good. So yeah, it's exciting. So we're going to give away a Brow Slayer webinar on here. And then we're going to give away a Stretchniques webinar on here also. So give me a go on my Instagram and hashtag Jake and Will. Jake, how do you spell that? Yeah, no, let's not do that. That might be weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do I don't know, come up with a cool hashtag.
Geez.
PMU Will. We'll do both because I'm looking at Jake's shirt. PMU Will 2020. So right now, if you go on Instagram, and I'm going to pick this tomorrow morning, you can hashtag it as many people and as many times as you want. Pictures, blah blah blah. PMU Will 2020, and you know Jen Boyd's giving me authority, so I'll give away a Brow Slayer webinar and a Stretchniques webinar. You know, and again, you know, open your ears up. You know, like listen to people around you. And you know, I said the other day, which is a real corny saying, but if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You know, it's, you know, surround yourself with people, and it's not money. It has I know people who are total friggin' idiots that are worth $10 million, and I know people who are absolute geniuses who are homeless. It don't measure people's knowledge on money. That does not make you. That makes you rich. It doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't mean that you've actually done anything. Maybe your dad died and gave it to you. Just surround your people. Like, you know, we lived in New Jersey, and like the old guys at the pizzeria, like the old wannabe mafia guys, those were the guys who like were 60 years old, had $2 million in the bank, had a normal house, drove a Honda Civic. That's the guy I want to talk to. Like the guy that is so financially disciplined is the guy I want. I don't want to talk to the guy who's so flashy and lost all his money, because that's not going to do anything for me. So, you know, surround yourself with good people, and hire good people around you, and just do you.
All right, since you do a giveaway, I'll do a giveaway too. I'll give away one of my webinars of your choice. I'll pick one or two people. So if you want to enter my giveaway, just go to my Instagram at PMU Marketer, and on any of the most recent, like within the last 10 posts, go comment hashtag PMU Marketer 2020, and I'll pick a winner for that tomorrow morning. So hashtag PMU Marketer 2020.
Yeah. So again, if you guys have any questions, you need anything, you could reach out to me. Now, I'm not plugging this business webinar again, but I just feel, I want to touch on that because there's some people in this industry, when I hear their voices, I want to friggin' vomit. Like, I'm not lying. Like, it's just too much for me, and everyone is trying to sell you how to get rich, how could you do 7 figures? Who cares? I want to tell you that the amount of money you're making now, if you manage it properly, you will be rich. You will have more money than you already have. Faking your clients to think you have talent is not ethical. Dressing better so your clients feel, patient, and someone's trying to sell you some get rich quick schemes, which seems to be very popular in permanent makeup. Like, oh, here, do this, and you could be making 6 figures in a week. Like, how's that possible? So, it's if you actually break down what you make now and what you have, and you actually do the right thing with it, you'd be surprised on like an 18-month or a 24-month plan how much more money you could have. And money isn't cash. Like, cash is the poor man's money. It's a horrible asset. It has no value. It devalues itself every day. Like, you got $500 a month, buy stocks. Like, buy freaking Google. I mean, if you buy Amazon stock any day of the year, you're going to get rich. So, like, don't buy dumb stuff. Just take $200 a month, $200 a week, and just put it away. And you will realize how much money you could have in a few years. And that money's not going to buy you crazy stuff, but it might buy you a house and like having good credit. You don't need to be rich to have good credit. You don't need to be rich to have a credit card, and these are things I'm going to teach in my webinar, but it just seems like common sense. And, people in permanent makeup, and like, if you work for a big company, they want to keep you dumb for a reason. They don't want you to take their ideas. They don't want you. So they put these crappy non-compete clause on you, which will never hold up in court if you have a really good lawyer. They don't give you information on succeeding because they want you to succeed so they can get richer. And that's just, it's sickening sometimes. You see someone working for a company on Tuesday. Oh my God, this girl's the best. You got to train with her. Well, that girl leaves on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, oh, her work sucks. She's horrible. And her work ethic is bad. Well, how come 2 days ago you were promoting her like she was the Messiah, but now that she doesn't work for you, now you're going to dog her? And when I see stuff like that, it really pisses me off. So, you gotta have some ethics in any aspect of life.
Yeah, and quit buying things to try to impress people. Like, I think that's what the trend was the past 5 years since the economy. Basically, the economy's been the best it's ever been. So I see so many people that buy nice houses, buy cars, purses, whatever, you name it, just to impress people. They don't like. I forget the saying, but they buy shit to impress people that they don't even like.
Jake swore.
My bad.
Yeah, because like, look at it like this. I know people, like, I can afford any car that I want. I just bought a Ford Expedition Max. It's not a Ferrari. It's not an Escalade. It's a beautiful truck, and it's friggin' still expensive as hell. But I know people that will have a 2 or 3-year-old Mercedes without a warranty, but they could only afford a brand new Honda Accord. I will never buy a car that does not have a warranty. I would buy a Kia, a crappy $15,000 Kia, to make sure it had a warranty, because it costs $800 to do anything to a car these days. But that like trashy mentality is like, oh, I got a Mercedes. And I'm like, well, which year? It's 5 years old. Well, when did you buy it? Last year. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just buy a new car? Shit, I got a Mercedes. And I'm like, and I had that attitude when I was young. I wanted the things that I probably shouldn't have had, but there's so much education. I wasn't educated online like everyone else. Like the internet, we didn't have the internet when I was young. I'm 45 years old. There's so much information here, and people should utilize it and stop taking pictures of your friggin' dog, your dog eating crap. Stop taking pictures of your breakfast. Pick up your phone, you know, and educate your stuff. You have an encyclopedia in your phone. Like when I was young, we actually had an encyclopedia set. So anything you needed, you would actually go over. People use their phone for the dumbest crap. I spend 2 hours a day on social media, and it's not looking at girls or looking at stupid stuff. It's reposting, it's talking to people. It's, you know, I take a huge percent of my day out to compliment other artists. You know, like, hey girl, nice job. That shit's dope. And I know it makes them feel good, but I'm doing it not because they paid me for a class. I'm doing it because I believe it. And when I get these messages and are like, oh, you know, you made my day by commenting, and I'm like, but you deserve it. You know, you don't take my class and then for the next week I kiss your ass and go on your social media. Oh, good job, girl. Because if you didn't do a good job, I'm going to message you and tell you how to do a good job. And that's super important. You know, like nobody wants hard love anymore. They want to be babied and they want to be spoon fed. And that's why our world is like it is. Everyone's a crybaby. Everyone entitled. It's like, put in the work. And when I see these young girls with these successful studios and they have a good team of people around them, you know, a business owner should never be top heavy. I am the most actually successful person there because I own it. But my goal is to make everyone around me just as financially successful. So if your boss is driving Ferraris and you're riding a bike, something's off. You know, like you can't get rich off the back of other people. And I see that in permanent makeup, like these big companies, you know, they charge $3,000 for a trainer and the trainer gets friggin' $300. And I'm like, why would you do that? Oh, it's great exposure. And I'm like, really? Because you're getting robbed. Oh, no, they're going to take care of me. And then they dump them, you know? So it's just, you know, so many opinions on this industry. I could be here all day, but you know,
It's amazing how many people tell me they don't have time to do stuff, and then I look at their Facebook and they post like every hour about like Trump or something else.
stupid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, we got this girl Twisted Tea who works for, I love her. She's one of the best workers, but it was kind of funny because I'm like, look, you got to make 5 Instagram post stories a day from the tattoo shop. She's like, oh, I can't do that. Well, the next day she posted 8 times on her personal page while she was in the bathroom. So I joke around, but I'm like, look, girl, I know you could do it now. It's like, I know phones are mesmerizing and you lose track of time looking at dumb crap. I am obsessed with the "Are you being detained" videos. You know those guys? They're like
Oh yeah.
photographers. Yeah, and they go like, I swear to God, Kristen hates it. I sit in bed for like 45 minutes at night, and it's like a guy, because I'm a photographer, he goes and photographs the courthouse, and the cop's like, you can't do that. And he's like, yes, I can. It's First Amendment. Am I being detained? For some reason, I'm obsessed with that. So
Yeah.
I know you can go on a food page, and in 45 minutes, you're like, shit, I've just looked at broccoli for 45 minutes. But if you took that same time and looked at other people's works, um, commented on other artists' work. That's how you build relationships. You know, everyone wants to sell everything, but you got to educate people. You educate people, then you have a product to sell. People should want to buy something for you if it's ethical and it's priced well. But if nobody knows who you are because you don't interact, you know, like I got really big in the industry from interacting with people, mostly in a negative way. And I'll be honest with that. Like I was a total dick, and I was a dick because I feel at that time in this career, in this industry, people needed to hear what I had to say because people were just as brainwashed as they are now. Now I have partners, and me being having a personality like I did affects. It doesn't only affect me; it could affect you. Like someone might say, "Oh, well, that's Will uses Jake. I'm not going to use him," or you know, I don't ever want my decisions to affect my family or my partners. So now I've just switched over. I'm really, I was never angry, but now I'm just focused. I'm focused on being home with my family, making a decent living, having money in the bank, having some investments, and going on vacation. Like, you know, I going out to dinner and buying whatever I want. It sounds so stupid. It sounds so dumb. But when I go out to dinner with people, and you know, I'm not buying lobster, but if I wanted a lobster, I'm going to eat a lobster. And it's like, what if it's like $60? But if you go out to dinner with someone, or you see other families talking, and you know that what they want they can't afford, that little thing that we don't appreciate, being able to buy whatever you want when you go to a restaurant, sounds so petty, it is such a luxury that you have no idea. It's food, but like I have been there when I've been on dates with girls, and I was like, oh my God, I hope this girl, like in friggin' what's that movie with Dave
Oh,
Chappelle where they got stoned and he was like
it's
stealing money from the homeless people.
like how
Like I've
high?
been there.
Yeah.
I've been there when I've had $100 at dinner and I was on a date and I'm trying to impress the girl and I couldn't even afford it. And I was hoping she didn't order something expensive. So it's like the little things, like having a car that's reliable, that's super important. Having a car with leather, who cares? I mean, you think it's important, but you can't, you shouldn't buy anything you can't afford. And I think that's really, that's a huge problem in tattooing. Everyone, everyone just spends their money like crap.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I really do appreciate about the military is last year I went to survival training for 3 weeks. And I mean, I can't really talk too much about it, but I went through some crazy, horrible stuff. And it just makes you appreciate the little things. Like I don't need a Lamborghini or some fancy stuff. Like just having a warm bed at night is very, and it sounds cheesy, but it's true.
If I win the lottery, I'm buying a friggin' Lamborghini, but I'm not gonna buy a Lamborghini and not be able to, the people that have unless you have so much money, and that's not even that was my goal. Like I was very money driven for a while because my family, my parents, people, great life, didn't have crazy finances, So when I started making a lot of money and I realized like, oh, this permanent makeup thing's gonna blow up. I mean, I got in it 20 something years ago when it was nothing. Now, I did get greedy for a while, but the greediness never affected my ethics. I just worked myself so hard that I almost killed myself. I was never home. I was bouncing from city to city doing these classes. And, everyone looks at these trainers in all these places like, oh my God, their job's amazing. Let me tell you something. I just went to Australia. Australia was beautiful. I've been there a couple of times. Australia loves me. I love Australia. You fly there. You're on a plane for 30 friggin' hours. You can't sleep. You're watching every friggin' stupid movies in different. You're eating crappy food on a plane. You're on the plane for 6 hours to get to Los Angeles. Then you fly for 15 hours. Then you get to Australia, and everyone is so excited to see you, and I'm so excited to see them. But I feel like I smoked friggin' crack because I can't sleep. So now I'm in a hotel by myself, not with my daughter, not with my fiance. I'm eating crappy food. I try to go to bed. I wake up at 2 a.m. because it's normal time here. Now I have to go talk to people at a conference who look up to me. I look up to them. Now I'm tired as hell. I'm drinking 15 cups of coffee, trying to look like I'm normal. Talking to people, taking pictures. It's exciting and I love it. Then I leave. Then I go back to the hotel. I'm so friggin' tired. Now I got to go to dinner. We go to dinner. Everyone's cool. Oh, this is fun. You have a couple of drinks. You go back to the hotel. You're in bed by 12. You're up at 3 friggin' a.m. You got to go to the conference at 8 a.m. You can't sleep. So it is an amazing opportunity for people to want me to fly all over the world. I love it. I love them. I built relationships with these people. But if you think that it's a glamorous life of traveling as a permanent makeup trainer or a speaker at a conference, you're out of your mind. Like by the time you get there, you are so tired. You just want to take a week. Now you've left your studio. Now, when you get home, you are the grouchiest person on earth. And your family's like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. And you're like, leave me alone. I need 3 days of sleep. So this is just the reality. It's like everyone looks at Beyonce. Oh, Beyonce's life is great. Yeah, when she's sitting in her mansion, but when she's on the road, that's not fun. Like you got to be a machine to do that. So, I'm grateful for everything I have, but like if you think that the life of a traveling permanent makeup artist speaking in conferences, yeah, it is amazing and I live for it and I love it, but it's very hard mentally on you. It's depressing sometimes being alone from your family. You drink, like you just drink. You're like, oh, I'm gonna sit in a hotel room. I'm gonna have a drink. And then, oh, you want to go for a drink? I'll go for a drink. Everything is surrounded by liquor these days. It doesn't matter what it is. When you never say to someone anymore, yo, you want to go get ice cream? No, you're like, yo, Jake, you want to get a drink? Boom, alcohol, 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 alcohol. The conferences, after the conference, alcohol, alcohol, alcohol. And it can catch up to you. So what I'm trying to say is work hard, but enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your family. Like if you take a Friday off and someone wants to come to your office and spend $1,500, they will come another day. Do not be a whore to that money. Don't cancel your plans with your kid or your fee. Even if it's the stupidest thing, like I tell my, oh, we're going to go to lunch. And then I'm like, oh, well, I can make $1,000 today. That's when your life plan is ass backwards, and you will keep doing it, and the people you love will resent you, and sooner or later they will leave you. So it's super important to enjoy your life. I know you and Amanda spend a lot of time. Me and Kristen spend 24 hours a day. Our business is all intertwined. We love it, we enjoy it, but I want to be here more. Like, I missed my daughter's first birthday this year, and we talked about it. We made a decision now to do it. It was a huge opportunity, but I'll never miss another one. I wake up with my daughter every day. We have our nanny comes here every day at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. My baby wakes up, and I'm laying in bed next to her. I watch her wake up, and it's the best feeling on earth. And I don't care how much money you have. I want to do that at least 90% of the year. I'll travel a little, but you can't beat that, and it's not replaceable.
So did you do 2020 New Year's resolutions, or do you not believe in doing that?
No, I believe in short term. No, I just, my resolution is just not be stressed out, and
Yeah.
that's you have the control of that. You stress yourself out by surrounding yourself with crappy people. You stress yourself out by working too much, and how much money do you need? If I get the opportunities are there, but you should have a very structured, like, we never work on Saturdays anymore. We spend that time with our family, and we don't work on Mondays. And that's, and pretty much now, if I'm feeling that's different, we go out on an ATV, we go on a boat, we go fishing. It's like that time is super, super precious. And I see these people, like, I've always been very structured and very aggressive to my clients where, first of all, most of them don't work. Well, that in New Jersey, a lot of my clients didn't work. It's like, you don't even have a job, and you're telling me this is the only day you could do? I'm like, you're out of your mind. I want to come in May 24th. I'm like, no, you're coming in this day. Well, I can't do that day. Okay, well, then you can't get it done. Okay, I'll come. So it's like, if you let your clients bully you or control your life, you will be extremely stressed out and your life will suck. And if you let your family members control your life, it's like, just be chill, relax. And even though people don't think it, I'm probably the most friggin' chill person you ever met. And I really got depressed in 2017 because I did like 40 hands-on classes all over the country and all over the world. I spoke at a couple of conferences. I flew, like, this last year, I flew 100,000 miles, but it was only that long because I went to Australia and South Africa. So if you think that money is that important, it will ruin your life. Obviously, we all want to make money. Just have ethics. Don't put your name on crappy products. Don't overtrain. Don't overwork yourself. And, be home with your family for dinner, or be home with your family. Our tattoo shop closed at 6 o'clock now because if I am the boss, I do not have the right to be home with my family every night while those tattoo artists are sitting there working their ass off. I don't believe in it. Now, tattoo shop owners stay open until 10. That's fine, not mine. My artists make a shit ton of money between 10 a.m. and 6 a.m. It's amazing how many people come in for a tattoo at 10 a.m. You know who comes in at between 7 and 9? Idiots, drunk people, crackheads, like people that I don't even want in my shop. So we close at 6 o'clock. They get to go home with their family. I'm home with my family. Boom. You can't treat your people like you don't want to be treated. If you don't want to be at work, why do you think your worker, this isn't a 24-hour restaurant. You can close whenever you want. So if you structure your hours, people will, like, bend to it, and they'll know, oh, they're only open at 10 till 6. We got to go early. Now, if my artist is like, hey, I want to take a 5 o'clock appointment, that's on them. But we do not, like, if anyone walks in, we're closing. And I think that's super important if you have a staff to, take them to dinner once in a while. Like, little Christmas bonuses. This year we bought all the people that work for us that have been there for a while, like 36-inch outdoor griddles, like these huge griddles.
Nice.
Me and Kristen got them. They're dope. Everyone loves them. My other artist hasn't been there a while. I got him like an Apple Pen. And then our new guy, we got like a gift card. And I think it's important. Today was one of artists in the shop girl's birthday. We got a cake, like a $20 cake. It's like, people want to be appreciated. And like, I want to be appreciated. I want my partners or like people that look up to me to be like, hey, like the comments we're getting on here, yo, you're real. I've learned a lot from you and I appreciate it. Like, that makes me feel really friggin' good. And, like, show the people that make you money appreciation. Don't just be like, boom, crack the whip. Because I crack the whip, but then I give back. Well, hey, we're all going to dinner tonight. Oh, I can't go. Okay, no problem. Go to nice restaurants. I pick up the bill. We're all going here, and it's just important to, surround yourself with good workers And if they are good workers, you better treat them good because someone else will. It's like having a girlfriend you don't appreciate. She's going to find a guy that will. And it's the same thing with workers or like people around you. Nobody wants to be around an asshole. And if you are not a good boss, you will not find good workers. And that's key.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, enjoy the journey because like last year I worked my face off, and I'll admit to get to where I am, I had to work very, very hard. But I'm going through like a transition to where I found that if I'm just more disciplined with my time, then I have more free time because a lot of times, whether it's me or somebody else, I see like, oh, I'm working a 12-hour day or an 18-hour day, but then 3 or 4 of those hours you're just unproductive because you're not getting. So just be more productive with the time you do have. If you only want to work 8 hours a day, then make sure those 8 hours are jam-packed full of productivity. Like build good habit patterns. Like what you do every single day is going to reflect who you are in 10 years, 5 years. It's all about daily habits.
Yeah, and it's structure. Like when I was poor, I worked at Seiko, and it was on an assembly line. So, like I sat there with like all these people, and watches would come down, and we would pick them up, put them on the watch collar, and put them in a box. But, they were teaching me don't touch things twice. Like, and that's how I feel like with my tray. And like I was in the military, I was in the Navy. Everything I do in my studio, the way I train is very structured, and the way I work is very structured. I don't waste time on my tray. 8-hour day, 10 people, and it's not because I'm in a rush because I don't want to be at work. I want to be at work, but I want to be home. I want to do other things. So if you're going to your office and you're dilly-dallying around all day, it's like go home. Like book your clients in a certain amount and go home. We don't have an office where people come in. Taryn's office, people don't come in unless they have an appointment. If you're just opening your door for people that are going to come in and waste your time all day and talk to you, you're just wasting your day. Like, again, I want to go to work. And we do a lot of work at home on our computers, but when I'm actually at my office, I'm tattooing. We have our shipping department, we have our distribution center. I'm working, and if I'm not doing that, I go home and I rather sit on the couch with my daughter and my hairless cats and my dogs, and do on my computer than sit there. But I know everyone's business is structured differently, and even if you think that your business plan is amazing, we have knowledge that can help you, and you'd be surprised. You could be in business for 3 months and you may have knowledge that can help me. So, there's just people who don't absorb other people's ideas because they know it all. And that was me for a while. This is my way. And when Taryn and Bill Gerber, the owner of After Inc., kind of got in my life, they told me things that I didn't want to hear because I was like, oh, you're wrong. And now, like, fast forward 2 years, and like I run a perfectly financially structured business down to every single receipt, down to organization, and that is key. And that's part of the business webinar. But it's all about being organized. It's about every single thing you should do is organized. This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. I have $13 flat rate shipping on my website. Like, you don't understand. If you buy one bottle of pigment or one pigment seal for $23.99, $24.99, you pay $13. People will do that every 2 weeks. And I'm not, look, keep giving me the money. I don't really make money on shipping, but if you would just organize your distribution and your buying, that you bought 4 bottles of pigment. Actually, if you buy 3, it's cheaper. If you bought all your needles and all your cartridges in one day, I lose money because I have to put it in a bigger box. It doesn't matter if you buy a truckload of supplies from me. It's $13 to ship it. Utilize that. It's simple. It's like I've dated girls who go to the friggin' grocery store every day, and I'm like, why don't you just go every 3 days? Oh, I don't know. I always forget something. And it's like, but if that person would have organized the shopping list, which is basically how to run your store, and you don't forget anything, you will save money. And if you don't think the $400 you could save at the end of the year on shipping charges, you don't know how to run a business, because $400 is a lot of money. And the day that you believe that $1 is a lot of money is the day you'll have more dollars. And that is the key. And I didn't believe that for a while. I wasted money on some dumb crap. And now it's just very disciplined, and that's from being around people like Taryn and Bill, who were smarter than me in business and more disciplined. And I've sucked that out of them. And I'm more like, my strong point is that I don't care who I'm sitting in front of. I will be respectful, but I will tell you how I feel. And whether it offends you or not, that is on you. you know, and, you know, Jake knows that about me. And it's like, when someone insults Jake's services, like I go to bat for him, not because we're friends, because they're just, I know the reason they're not being successful is because it's them, but everyone wants to push blame. And that just seems like the world, not even our industry. It's like, you know, I messed up a couple months ago and got into a fight with friggin' this woman on Facebook. And, you know, the owner of FK Irons calls me at 2 a.m. in the morning. And, you know, Taryn and Bill Gerber call me. And, you know, I didn't want people to yell at me like I'm a friggin' child. And I'm like, oh, you know, F this, I'm not. And then I sat back and I'm like, you know what? Own it. You messed up. Be a friggin' man. Make an apology. And I knew that was the right thing to do. Now, it's hard as hell to get me to make an apology for something because I believe that I was right. I just should have done it publicly. And I feel that was like my crossroad into when I became like calmer in the way of, you know, like, look, if you're an idiot, I'm probably gonna make you, not gonna make you feel like an idiot, but if you're doing something so stupid that you should know, it's almost like, come on, you should know better. But I'm not arguing with people, I'm not talking about stupid stuff, and my energy is just put into different places, and it's put into a positive place. And when you have positive energy, positive things will happen. You know, I'm an atheist, I'm not religious, but you know, it's just, I believe in energy, I believe in doing people right. And you know, you never really have to, but aren't lying to people. You always have to remember all those lies so you don't get caught. And that's the hardest thing in life, you know, just be ethical. And, you know, I feel like this is more of an emotional thing, Jake. This is like some Tony Robbins crap we got going on.
It's
But
true, though.
I think it's the core, you know, the core of you should be the core of your business. Now, do you want to sell crappy cars that were in floods to people and make a lot of money? Or do you want to sell quality cars for a lower profit margin and be rich for the rest of your life? I probably want to sell the quality cars, you know, and quality work. You know, don't leave your clients hanging. Look, permanent makeup clients are annoying. I'm annoying. Jake's annoying. Amanda, Kristen, everyone's friggin' annoying, but you're getting paid a lot of money. So you know what? Eat it up. Do the touch up. Don't leave people hanging, because you may think that that woman doesn't really have a voice, but that woman who came to get a procedure, who could probably most likely the most annoying person on earth, and you're like, I don't want to deal with her. She may be so well connected that in the small town you are in, it will take 10 or 15% of your business away. And that's what you don't get, you know. Don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, she's annoying. Maybe you go a little extra. If you're super, super annoying, I'm probably going to cut you off too. But, you know, put on a smile, go to work, try your hardest. And in the reality, most time these procedures don't come out good. It's your fault. You overworked it. Oh, it's the aftercare. They're not listening. Well, no, it's you. You overworked the area. You underworked it. It was too superficial. So own your mistakes. You know, these are people's faces we're dealing with. It doesn't go away in 2 years. I don't care what anyone says. It's not semi-permanent. So, you know, wake up and realize you're tattooing people's faces.
Sweet. Do you guys have any questions? Somebody
Hurry
said.
up, my sushi's waiting. Yeah, and you know, I see so many things. Like, some people talk about people being cheap, and you know, it's you know, I make fun of people sometimes. Oh, you're so cheap, but those people have more money than you. They have more investments than you. They're just not they're just not wasting their money. And look, like 2 years ago, I went and bought a Porsche. I thought I was friggin' cool. I wanted this car so bad. It was my dream friggin' car. And I'm like, to be honest, I needed to get that out of my system in order not to want it and know what a waste it was. I bought it. I enjoyed it. Payments were crazy. Wasted a lot of money putting it down. Did I enjoy it? Hell yeah, more than anything. Getting out of that car, driving that car in Florida, go to Miami with the top down. It was a superpower. But I will never buy another one. I'm happy it's over. I'm driving a Ford Expedition now, not because I can't afford the Porsche, because I got it out of my system. So, like, you will make mistakes because you want something so bad. But if you don't learn from those mistakes, you know, that's when you kind of get your stuff together. I live in a 1,600 square foot house, a block from the water. It's absolutely beautiful. It was in Sarasota, Florida magazine one day. Our design is amazing. My house is not expensive. I pretty much have recycled things in my house. I'm an artist. I kind of create things. People come to my house and love it, but some people feel their house is their pride. So they have a 8,000 square foot house. You know what an expensive house means? Expensive bills, expensive upkeep. So we do it. We had $100 a month on friggin' landscaping. I'm not living in a house in Florida that the air conditioning the whole house. You'll pay a couple $1,000s a month in friggin' bills. So, a big house doesn't make you, a cool car doesn't make you. And again, I just admitted that I made that mistake because I did, but I had to get it out of my system, and it's out of my system. And I can admit that it was probably the dopest friggin' thing I've ever owned in my life, but I don't want it, and I realize I don't need it. So, people change, but if you do make that really crappy purchase, just own it and say, okay, it's probably not a good idea. I'm not doing that again. It's no one should have a friggin' $1,500 a month car payment unless you're really rich, but then you wouldn't have a car payment.
Yeah, I mean, to me, trying to have money is more about freedom. Like I want to get, like, I know what it's like to not have freedom, obviously, because I signed a contract in the military. But when I get out, I want to be able to like say, like, okay, I never have to work for anybody else again. I want to have that stockpile, so I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah, and I think that's what people. I see it a lot in tattooing. Like these tattoo artists are amazing, and the tattoo industry needs so much help too. And I'm educating them also. They don't really take it as easy as permanent makeup artists because they think, oh, you think your shit don't stink. I'm like, bro, I'm talking about friggin' insurance. This isn't exciting. Like, I'm like, how do you not have insurance? Oh, whatever. I'm like, I'm trying to educate you on an insurance plan. This isn't like the most exciting thing on earth, but maybe you should not be your own boss. Maybe someone there is nothing wrong with being a permanent makeup technician working for somebody else. You know what? You get to go home at night. You don't have to deal with any paperwork. You make a lot of money. If you have a good percentage, you go to work, do your things, and leave. That doesn't mean you failed. So the it's just like not everyone wants to be married. Like, back in the day, oh, what's wrong with you? How come you're not married? Because I don't want to be married. But now it's a little bit different. You could be single the rest of your life. No one says, oh, I'm a single guy. Back then it was like, oh, you can't get a woman. No, I just don't want to be married. So if you are a permanent makeup artist and you're working for a good boss and, you feel that you have a good position and it does not mean that your growth one day should be to own your own business. There are so many talented people that if they just concentrated on their craft, they would make way more money than being other people's bosses. So being talented has nothing to do with running a business. Some people cannot run a business. Some people will never. And if you are a woman and your husband doesn't know anything about business, don't let him get involved in your business. And if you are a man and your wife is not business savvy, two people running a business that don't know crap about business means a disaster, So hire people for advice. Me and Kristen advise each other because I am a better businessman than Kristen, but she has grown to be equal to my business savvy now. Taryn Darling and Kat. These are two women who didn't really know anything about business. And, we had like a 5-hour call today with all our companies. It was like I'm doing this thing at night. You guys are lucky because I love you. I've been on the phone for 5 hours today already, but I enjoy doing this. And I was like, hey, Jake, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. These two women knew nothing about business. Taryn, tattoo artist, Kat was a cocktail waitress. Hey, we're going to open up this thing. We're going to open an online store. They grew together by making mistakes. Me and Kristen grew together by making mistakes, but we work well together. So just because your husband who mowed lawns in high school and he's like, oh, he's got a normal job, but he's like, oh, babe, I'll help you with your business. Just because you're married to someone does not mean they are a good business advisor. And I promise you that two people that are in charge of a household can be a disaster. So if your husband's like, oh, I'm going to quit my job that has benefits, I'm making $80,000 a year, and I'm going to help you run your business, you just be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You keep your job until this business is successful, has stability, has some investments, and then maybe he could quit. But don't jump the gun. And just because you're working for someone who sucks does not mean you should open your own business. Maybe you find someone who you work with who's amazing, and you're going to give them 20%, 25%, whatever. You don't have to do anything. You go to work, everything's there. Someone makes you coffee. It's like the grass isn't always greener on the other side, especially in business. And that is the absolute truth, like doing everything. Now I don't do my marketing. Jake does. I have an accountant. I have a bookkeeper. We have a nanny. So she watches our baby. We watch our baby also. All these things I pay for, but it allows me to be able to pay for them because I'm more financially stable, because I can concentrate on what I do best. And that is educate, tattoo, and manage. And that is what I'm the best at. I'm not a bookkeeper. I'm not a friggin' accountant. And I'm definitely not a lawyer. So you know, we don't even let people ask legal advice on our boards because all these oh my God, I know a lawyer. Well, go call a lawyer, you know, and you know, that's the key, you know. So I'll talk about more about that on my business webinar. Okay, what'd you say, Jake?
All right, we got a question, and this goes along with what you're saying. So she said, "Where do I get my sunglasses that I always wear?" Her husband needs a pair. So I actually get my sunglasses on Amazon. They're like $5 a pair. I think I get
yeah, they look it.
Yeah, no, I get like a 3-pack for like, I don't know, $15 or something. So I'll see if I can find that link and I'll send it to you, Nora. I hate it buying expensive sunglasses. I think the most expensive pair I ever buy is like $50, and that's just for flying, just because they can't be polarized. They're special.
Yeah, because Jake is a top gunner, so yeah.
Right now, I'm more of an airliner.
Yeah. So listen, I do these things. Jake do these things. We just planned this yesterday. Me and Jake talked about something, and we're having throwing ideas back at each other on some projects. And I'm like, oh, we should do it live. And it doesn't matter. I could have been on the phone for 8 hours today, and I still would have done this. It's about giving the things that you have that you're good at to other people, and hopefully you help people. And I'm not trying to hook, line, and sinker you to buy something to me later. If you never, there was a girl who I absolutely hate, and I still hate her. And if I said her name, you would know her. But I remember she was like, oh, that Will Anthony guy is such a jerk. I'll never give him my money. And then I just wrote, I don't need your money, because we don't educate. And, I kind of help Jake become a little bit more of an educator than a salesman, because if you just meet Jake, some people are like, oh, he's trying to sell something. So now Jake gives knowledge. We do things like this, we're educating people, and we're not hook, line, and sinker you. We're not hoping like you get off here and go in my store and spend $1 million. I want you to buy my products. I want you to train with me. I want you to buy my webinars, but I also want you to buy Karen's webinars. I want you to buy Monica Avani's. I want you to buy Mary Richardson. I want you to support the people that are in my circle who I vouch for and I believe have good content. And when I did this needle thing online today, I know a lot of people are going to be upset because a lot of people sell that needle, but like if you sell that needle, you're trash, and there's no way. That needle is bad, and I'm the one who wants to be the voice for that. And if I get a lot of slack and people say I'm a hater, I don't care, but I did it because there's some people on here that may be using that, and people need to be, the public needs to be educated. These people are entrusting us with our blood. I mean, with their blood, with marking on their face. And it's like at my tattoo shop, I tell the artist, look, I know you don't want to do that tattoo. Well, it's not the most exciting tattoo, but that woman's 65 years old. Her husband just passed away. She wants the simplest tattoo. And the reason you're a tattoo artist is to make people feel beautiful and create beautiful art. So that little heart that she got because her husband passed away is just as important than some friggin' hot chick with implants coming on and wanting a dragon on her back. It's respect the craft, respect these things that are important to people. And, we're tattoo artists. And like I said, they're entrusting us by opening their skin and putting products in there. You better damn well be sure those products are safe. You better damn well be sure that they're from reliable companies, because if you get sued for giving someone something and you're sitting in front of a judge and they're like, well, where'd you get that needle? Oh, on Amazon. From who? Oh, I don't know. Where'd you get the pigment? Oh, from this girl. Who's that? I don't know. You're going to be in a shitstorm. So, have quality insurance and use quality products. They're a little more expensive, but it's worth it. Lot numbers, all these things, sterilization. These are things that people don't know about. And I'm going to be educating people on that too. So remember, What is it? PMU Will 2020. Let's get that contest rolling. Abigail, my nanny's on here. She's going to pick it for
you.
When
I was at ATV, I met one of my clients who I've been working with for like 2.5 years, and I got to meet her husband, and they were like, yeah, Jake, you changed our life and all that. But then they were like, we literally talk about you at the dinner table, and just like hearing all that stuff was way more special to me than any like cars I've ever bought or clothes or whatever. Like it's about the human to human connections. And I'm not just saying that because I know some of this stuff sounds cheesy, but it's honestly the truth. And you were talking about sales and stuff. Like I've tried to become like an anti-salesman. Like because I see so much dumb marketing and so much money wasted that I literally try to not be pushy at all, because I want people to be able to come to me.
They'll come,
Yeah, I want them to come to me and just ask me like a question, and I'll just lead them in the right direction and not just try to sell them, because I do see some really stupid wasted money out there. Like I saw one person who signed a two-year contract with some magazine, and she's gotten 0 bookings after the first year. I'm like, why don't you sign a 2-year contract?
Yeah, no, because that's the thing. People are like, oh, well, if you do a monthly contract, it's 100. If you do a 2-year, it's 40. Well, you're getting screwed more out of the 40 over 2 years. It's like people that finance their furniture for like 27%. It's like, oh, I'm only paying $30 a month. I'm like, yeah, for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
We just got a really nice couch. Before that, we had couches that we bought this house 6 years ago. It wasn't important to me. And you mentioned ATB again, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but obviously, I feel like conferences are kind of like wine, wine tastings. You go to a winery, you open up 50 bottles of wine, and you only get a shot of it. You do the little stupid thing, you drink it. But then you realize what wines you like, and then you go and buy a case of that wine. So this is a crazy analogy. When you go to a conference and you see me on stage, or you see Monica Ivani, you see Mary Richardson, you see Taryn, you see Daria, and you're not really sure if you want to take that class, I guarantee after seeing that person, all those 10 people on stage over a 3-day period, you're almost sampling them. So you see the energy. I get off stage, Mary, whoever, oh, what's up? Hey, I'll give you a hug. Hey, what's up? You're like, damn, I do want to spend 2 days in the room with this person. I do want to listen to them. I really like how they educate. I love their presence in person. There's people at the conference that I've never met, and I feel like there's people in the world that I've never met in my life, and I feel like they're my best friends because how much we interact. I know what their kids look like. I know what if their kids are sick. It's like, more crap about people from being on Facebook than about your own family. I will guarantee you know more about my life than some of your cousins and some of your aunts. Oh, London Rose. Oh, he's got 2 hairless cats. He's got this. He has a tattoo shop. I don't even know what one of my cousins does for a friggin' living. So it's that interaction. So when you come to a conference, you're not getting that one-on-one training, but what you are getting is hanging out, having a burger, having sushi with someone that you've been watching your whole life on Facebook in your career life, and just all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I'm sitting there having sushi with Jake and his wife. Like, I feel like I know them. I watch Jake's stupid videos where he's running and I can't see him and the camera's shaking. But that's like the fun thing of a conference. So it's our conference. It's not cheesy, it's not boring, and it's fun as hell. And I promise you, the things that we have planned this year are so friggin' crazy. And this year we're not giving lunch because we did lunch for the conference every year, and I don't want to tell you what we're giving instead, but we felt that the food that the hotel gave was good. Now the food at the party is amazing. I guarantee that it is absolutely amazing. But for the amount of money that we were charged per student and the amount of students that ate there, so we get charged per student. If we tell them 175 people are coming, whether 10 people eat there or 175, we have to pay for it. We feel we could spend that money better on our students during the conference. So this year, you want to go out, you want to grab something to eat, there's restaurants right there, that's cool. But I guarantee you, by not giving you lunch and giving you what we're giving you on the first day, you are going to be like, this is the best thing. We are kicking this thing off with the biggest surprise ever. Me and Kat, Taryn's wife, thought of this, and you're just going to be like, wow. So if you do want to come to the conference, again, you're not going to get that one-on-one personal training, but you will have a blast. And if you don't have a blast, you're a deadbeat. Because if you can't have fun in Vegas, there's something wrong with you.
I would be 100% honest. I thought the conference would be cool and all that, and it'd be cool to meet people. But like when I left, I was literally like, crap. I wish I was still there. Like that was like a blast.
Well, it's fun, and that's why you pick Vegas. Because look, most people. That's why I picked the Golden Nugget. The friggin' rooms are $90. Our first conference, the rooms were $350. It was a mistake that we made. I don't. I want people to be able to come to the conference and be able to afford their travel. Travel is expensive. That's why I lower the price of my classes in Florida because, come to America, Cassandra. Yeah, so I lower the price of my classes because in the winter, the hotels are so expensive here. We bought a house. Our students get to stay there for a cheap rate, but you can't have an expensive conference, an expensive hotel, and expensive airfare. Fremont Street is so cheap. It's fun. You could walk outside, people vomiting, it's just so friggin' crazy. And if you've never been to Vegas, this is the time to go to Vegas. You get to get away from your husband. You get to get away from your kids. You get to meet people you've met on Facebook. You get to party, control yourself. You get to go to dinner. You can go to shows, and you get to learn from some of the best artists on earth and buy some of the best products. And I think that's super, super important. The tickets right now are 2,100, but I'm going to make an announcement at willanthonycosmetics.com. We are going to open up the early bird for anybody. So if you're an alumni of our conference, which means you've came already to one or two of them, they're going to get a discount. Now, if you sign up with, I think it's going to be like February, March, April. February to April is going to be a 60-day windows for early birds, and you're going to save like $300 on your ticket or $250. And depending on where you're coming from, it's so cheap to fly to Vegas. It's basically a free airline ticket. And I promise you, like I said before, what is so important to me when I see other conference doing what I feel is unethical, if you buy your ticket, if you don't buy the early bird and you buy a $2,100 ticket, just say April 1st. I swear to anything. I don't believe in God. I swear that I will not sell a ticket publicly or to anyone. We're not going to announce it that our tickets are going half price a week before the conference, because that's how a lot of conferences fill seats. But it's not fair to the people that bought them and believed in you first. And we believe in, like I said before, we want to create something that people enjoy and people come back. So, follow my Instagram. Obviously, Jake's our marketer. He's going to do a post about it. But, and don't wait. The longer if you want to come, just come. You're 8 months out. Book your calendar out. A ticket's going to be $2,100. Early bird special is going to be a discount. Now, before, what you're going to pay more for air, you're going to pay more for hotel. We block out 150 rooms at the hotel, and we get everyone a discount. So book your room. The hotel is not super fancy. It is not dirty. It is nice. It is old Vegas. It is fun. It is gimmicky, like rock and roll Elvis. That's what we want. So don't stay at a different hotel, because look, you want to go up to the room, blah, blah, blah. And we've already made the rooms so cheap. So definitely take advantage of that.
I get a practical tip for the conference for those of you who are going to go. I learned this on YouTube, and it worked out great for me and Amanda. So when we got there, we used this app called Instacart, and you can get like a free 14-day trial. They literally brought, and this was in 2 hours of ordering on the app. We ordered some stuff from, I think it was like Sprouts, like water, bottles of water, some like snacks and stuff like that. And they literally brought the groceries to our hotel. And it was
we use that in Florida. It's funny because we never, like, for me to go to the grocery, I feel like I'm bougie. Like, our nanny cooks for us sometimes, and we love her, and she's an amazing meatloaf cook. That's probably the only thing she can cook. No, I'm just kidding. But like, she'll be like, "What do you want for dinner?" She Instacarts it to the house. So yeah, like, don't be again. It just goes down to being a smart shopper. Don't go buy stupid expensive stuff in Vegas. Like, bring it. Like, I bring a case of water. Like, why are you going to sit at the hotel and drink friggin' $9 waters? Things are expensive in hotels for a reason, because out of convenience. Don't buy stuff at the gift shop. Walk down the street to Walgreens. It's, have the driver stop at a liquor store and give them a $10 tip. That way you could have liquor in your room, so you don't have to spend $12 on a bottle. Pre-game it. Buy a couple bottles of wine. Just be smart. These trips do not have to cost you a lot of money, but I hated how was the ticket there with a few one day. Yeah, we are going to be giving away some tickets, so we're going to talk about that with Jake. But anyway, I got sushi there, and Kristen's killing me, and she wants me to go. It's October 24th to the 26th. And, you're one of my students, Bella. So, we're going to give the speakers some tickets to give to their students at a discount. So, if you worked with some of these people. So we got some really good planned stuff. And, don't count our money. Don't think that because we take in a lot of money at these conferences that we're flying home in jets. It really costs a lot of money to do these. That party that we threw on the last night, we had 6 chefs in there making food. I mean, it was friggin' dope as hell. It overlooked Fremont Street, the energy, and it was cold in Vegas. So remember, October is a beautiful month. Maybe like a long sleeve shirt, but our Halloween party. If you're coming to our thing, we usually give away about $10,000 in classes, and that's what we're going to try to do this year. So if you are an artist, which we all are, you better put together the best damn outfit ever. The person who won my class was friggin' Macho Man Randy Savage. This guy, it's Danielle Burke's husband. He's dope as hell. Yeah, this guy, like, he was on the street. People were taking pictures of him because he thought he was one of those street performers. He had friggin' Slim Jims given away. He put so much time into that costume because it was the 80s, and he won it. So, if you are going to come, if if you're coming to the conference, you want to bring your spouse to the party. I think it's like $130 for a ticket. But, you know, if you come to the party and just drink, you're probably not getting your money back. But, I mean, we had 5-star food. We had making all fresh sliders there, shrimp. I mean, it was pretty dope setup. And, you know, me and Kat, Taryn's wife, are in charge of the menu. So I'm actually flying out to Vegas on, I think I'm flying out March 1st for Amber Amber, the girl who works for Taryn, one of the best eyeliner artists in the world. She's getting married, and I'm pretty close with her family. So me and Taryn are going to go to Golden Nugget with Kat. Kristen's going to fly home. We're going to sit with the party planners. We're planning this party in March for October. That's how much time we are putting in. Those menus will be picked, and I promise you, the 2 things that we have planned are going to blow people's minds. You know, this isn't cheesy stuff. I mean, it's dope. And the most important thing is the education and mingling with people you look up to or people that are in the industry. You know, there's a lot of super talented young people that were there, and we put them up on stage last year and gave them a shout out because, you know, these people are important. You know, if you're 22, 23 years old, you're in the industry and you want to learn, I will help you. But, you know, I feel the older people than the younger people butt heads a lot because the older people are almost jealous. Like a hotter chick came in, and now I'm like, oh, she's going to take my job, but you're never going to take my job. You're never going to be able to do everything I do to be as successful as me. You need to do what you need to do is be successful as you want to be. You know, you can never mimic someone's success. Maybe I could talk better, but I'm not as talented. Maybe someone who is a shyster, who's talented and talks better, if you have a deep talent and you're respectful and ethical, you can make a good living in this business. So, you know, just be patient and wait for it. Okay, I got sushi, Jake.
All right, enjoy your sushi, and thanks for the interview.
Yeah, no, I love everyone. And look, Jake's going to post some stuff in the group about the ATB and the price and everything. And make sure you get on my Instagram and I'm going to do that giveaway tomorrow. Abigail's going to do it in the morning. We're going to go to Miami to the FK Irons factory tomorrow. So if you guys need anything, reach out. And Jake, Abigail get you that stuff, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Adios, people.
All right, guys. Peace.
Okay. Bye.